Hi students, hope you are safe at home. In this class, I am going to explain about the concept revisiting irrational numbers from the chapter real numbers. Irrational numbers are not new to us. We learnt about irrational numbers and representing irrational numbers on the number line and operations on irrational numbers in class 9th. Irrational numbers. A number S is called irrational if it cannot be written in the form p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. This is the definition of irrational numbers. We know about rational numbers. Numbers that can be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0, are called rational numbers. If any number which cannot be written in p by q form, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0, that number is called as irrational. And from this we can conclude the numbers which are not rational are called irrational numbers. Therefore, if you take any number, it can be either rational or irrational. Let us see some examples for irrational numbers. All non-terminating and non-repeating decimals are irrational numbers. Any decimal which is non-terminating and non-repeating, it is an irrational number. If n is not a perfect square, then root n is an irrational number. For example, if I take 9, 9 is a perfect square number, then root 9 is equal to 3. This is a rational number. If I take any number which is not a perfect square, let me take 5. If I take root 5 is irrational. Therefore, if we take any number which is not a perfect square, then root n is irrational number. If n cannot be written kth power of some integer, then k root n is an irrational number. Now, for example, let me take 27. 27, I can write it as 3q. And therefore, cube root 27. Cube root 27 is rational. Cube root 27 is rational because cube root 27 means 27 power 1 by 3. 27 power 1 by 3 is 3 cube power 1 by 3, that is nothing but 3. That is rational. That is, if 27 is written as 3 cube, then cube root 27 is a rational number. If not, if there is a number, suppose 24, in case of this, cube root of 24 is irrational because 24 cannot be written as cube of any integer. If I take some 50 means, suppose if I take fourth root of 50, fourth root of 50 is irrational because 50 cannot be written as fourth power of some integer. Here we cannot find any number here. That's why if n cannot be written kth power of some integer, then kth root of n is an irrational number. Pi is an irrational number. Simply we know pi is 22 by 7 or 3.14, so on, is an irrational number. Euler's number E is called as Euler's number, is also an irrational number. You will get in your higher classes this Euler's number E. Golden ratio, this is called as psi, is an irrational number. About this also you will learn in your higher classes. These are some examples of irrational numbers. Let's talk about operations on irrational numbers. The sum or difference of a rational number and an irrational number is irrational. The product or quotient of a non-zero rational number and an irrational number is irrational. Remember this simply. Let me take R is a rational number, I is an irrational number. r plus I, sum of rational and irrational. R minus I, difference of irrational and irrational number. R into I, product of irrational number and irrational number. R should not be 0 because non-zero rational number. We should take non-zero rational number. What will happen if R is 0? 0 into I is 0. We will get a rational number. Okay, R should not be 0. Now R by I. R by I or I by R, both we can take in case of quotient. Here also R minus I minus R, both are right. Now the answer is always I. That is, sum of a rational number and an irrational number is an irrational number. Difference of a rational number and an irrational number is always irrational. Product of a rational number and irrational number is irrational. Quotient of a rational number and irrational number is irrational. For these two conditions, the rational number should not be 0. It should be non-zero rational number. The same thing if both are irrational numbers, what will happen? I plus I plus I minus I minus I, that is difference of two irrational numbers. Same thing, product of two irrational numbers, I into I and I divided by I. That means if both are irrational numbers, if we go for all the fundamental operations, the answer is always either rational number or irrational number. That is not fixed. Answer, sometimes it can be rational number and sometimes it can be irrational number also. That's why the sum, difference, product and quotient of two irrational numbers is either rational or irrational number. About this thing we learnt in class 9th with examples. Let's see, very important point here. If P is a prime number and P divides A square, then P divides A. P divides A, where A is a positive integer. Now within the brackets I had given the region which we want to use here. Okay. Now let us check this one with some examples. Okay. For that I need the values of P and A. When we take P as some 3, let me take the value of A as 6. Let me write the statement. The statement we have is P divides A square. If P divides A square, that means if P divides A square, from this what we will get? What we will get? From this P divides A, we can control this. In case of this example, whether it is right or not, we will check. 3 divides 6 square is right only. 3 divides 36 because 3 12s 36, which implies 3 divides A, 3 divides 6. The statement is right only. 3 divides 36 is right and 3 divides 6 also. Let's take the same statement with some other number which is not prime now. Let me take with P as 4 and A as 6 only. Let me take. You have to write this equation. That is 4 divides 36 implies gives 4 divides 6. This is wrong because 4 divides 36 is right only, but 4 divides 6 is wrong. It is not possible. It is not possible because 4 is not prime. 4 is not prime. Therefore, this formula is true for when P is prime. P divides A square, then P divides A is possible only when P is prime. A can be any integer. A can be either a prime or composite or any integer. A can be any integer, but B should be prime. Then only this P divides A square gives P divides A. And for example, how we are going to use this formula is, suppose I have 8 divides A square. 8 divides A square. From this I cannot write 8 divides A. Reason is 8 is not prime. 8 is not prime. Whereas the same thing, if I have 5 divides A square. 5 divides A square. Whenever I will get 5 divides A square, immediately I can write 5 divides A. The reason is 5 is prime. Therefore, this formula is correct. Okay, this formula is correct when in this place we have prime number. Any prime number. 13 divides some k square. 13 divides some k square gives 13 divides k, because 13 is a prime number. in place of 13 if we have any number which is not prime, then this is not possible. This way we are going to use this point. This point is very important while doing problems in this topic. Now in this topic we are going to uh, talk about a new method of proving statements, that is proof by contradiction. Proof by contradiction. Okay, contradiction means nothing but opposite. How, in what way you will prove the given statement by using this the concept, the method of proof by contradiction is, what we will do in the method of contradiction to check whether a statement is true. What we will do, we assume that the given statement is true. We assume that the given statement is true. We arrive at some result which contradicts our assumption, thereby proving contrary. Thereby proving contrary. What we will do in the method of contradiction, to prove any statement, we assume the opposite of the statement is true. We assume that opposite of the statement is true. But at some point of time, we will get a contradiction result. From that, we will conclude our assumption is wrong, which gives the given statement is true. This complete concept will be clear if I explain one problem. Before going to problem, suppose to make this method clear, let me take there is a student A at this place. Okay, he has to reach place B. He has to reach place B. Okay, this is place B. Imagine this is place B. Okay, this is place C. Imagine. Okay, and he has roads like this. He has roads like this. He know only one thing about B. About B. B is at a distance of this is, let me take, this is some point X. A is at this point. At this point only he has confusion whether he has to move in this direction or in this direction. A knows that A knows that B is at a distance of some 2 kilometers. B is at a distance of 2 kilometers. Then what he is doing from this X point X, he started moving in this direction. That means he assumed that the point B is in this direction. The point B is in this direction. Now, after moving 2 kilometers or 2.5 kilometers, he may clear, or he is clear about that B is not in this side. He has to go back in this direction. That means whatever he assumed is wrong. That itself means the route for B is this one. I hope if we do a problem by using this method of contradiction, it will be very clear to you. Let's do a problem by using the method of contradiction. Prove that root 7 is an irrational number. To prove root 7 as an irrational number, here I am using the method of contradiction. How to proceed is, okay, here I have to prove root 7 is an irrational number. I had assumed the given statement is not true. Okay, here the given statement is root 7 is an irrational number. I had assumed the statement is not true. That means root 7 is an irrational number is not true. That means root 7 is not irrational. Root 7 is not irrational means it is rational. Therefore, I will assume that my assumption is root 7 is rational. That means opposite of the given statement you have to assume. You have to prove that root 7 is irrational. You have to assume root 7 is not irrational. Not irrational means rational only. Any number, any real number you have taken, it should be either rational or irrational. Here you have, in contradiction method, you have to start, or you have to assume that the given statement is not true. Root 7 is an irrational number is not true. Not true means false. Root 7 is an irrational number is false. That means root 7 is rational. Therefore, assumption is root 7 is rational. Okay, for the given statement, take the opposite of the given statement as assumption. If assumption is root 7 is rational, but we know from the definition of a rational number, every rational number can be expressed in the form of p by q or in fractional form, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. That's why I wrote root 7 is equal to a by b. You can take p by q also here, but here I have taken a by b. Root 7 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-primes or co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. Why you have taken co-prime integers? Because always a rational number should be in standard form. If 4 by 6 is a rational number, it is not in standard form because there is a possibility of cancellation. The HCF of 4 and 6 is not 1. They are not co-primes. Now, if a and b don't have any common factors other than 1, then only a by b is said to be in standard form. Therefore, here HCF of a comma b is 1 means they are co-primes. Therefore, root 7 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. Okay, this step you will get this step because root 7 is rational. Every step is dependent. Every step comes from its previous step only. Okay, observe carefully. Therefore, assumption, how to get assumption is from the given statement, opposite of the given statement. Assumption, root 7 is irrational is the given statement. For this statement, the opposite is root 7 is rational. Now, from the definition of a rational number, root 7 is equal to a by b, where a and b are integers in general definition. But here I am taking co-prime integers, but I want a by b in standard form. That's why b not equal to 0. This step, second step, we got from the definition of a rational number. Now I will simplify this equation. Root 7 is equal to a by b. I am going for squaring on both sides. On squaring on both sides, what we'll get is root 7 whole square is equal to a by b whole square actually. That is nothing but a square by b square. Here square and root we can cancel. That is 7. 7 is 7 by 1. If you go for cross multiplication, this b square will go to left side and multiplies. 7b square is equal to a square. 7b square is equal to a square. That means a square we have written 7 into something. A square we have written 7 into something. If any number is written as some number is there here, okay, if that number is written as some 7 into some other number, any number here, some other number, then no doubt this number is divisible by 7. If I take suppose 28, you can write 28 as 7 into 4. 7 into 4, that itself means 7 divides 28. So what will be the number here? Okay, this number is equal to 7 into some other number. No doubt this 7 divides this left side number. The same thing here. A square is equal to 7b square. A square is equal to 7b square. That means a square we can write 7 into something. Compare this one with this one. A square is 7 into something. Now from this you can conclude 7 divides a square, the left side number. 7 divides a square. Okay, everything is dependent. But we have a formula. If p divides a square, then we have that p divides a whenever p is a prime number. But here 7 is a prime number. From this you will get 7 divides a, because 7 is a prime number. Okay, now 7 divides a we got. Next there. Now 7 divides a. 7 divides a means there exists a number k such that a is equal to 7k. It is possible because 7 divides 35. The reason is 35 is equal to some 7 into 5. 35 is equal to 7 into 5. That's why we can write 7 divides 35. In the same way, we have 7 divides a. That means there exists a number. What number we don't know because as there is no specific value for a. A is equal to 7k. K can be anything. A is equal to 7k. Now from 1, here this equation is 1. Equation 1 we have a square is equal to 7b square. Okay, in this substitute the value of a, that is 7k. That's why 7k whole square is equal to 7b square. On simplification, 49k square is equal to 7b square. You can cancel on with 7 on both sides. We'll get 7k square is equal to b square. Here is something like this one, a square is 7b square, we got like this. 7k square is equal to b square. So here you can write here like this. Okay, b some number is equal to One number is equal to 7 into some other number. You don't know these two values. Okay, here's some other number. Now no doubt 7 divides this number. Okay, in this place we have b square. In this place we have k square. Therefore no doubt 7 divides b square. Therefore 7 divides b square from this equation. 7 is big because b square is 7 into something. B square is equal to 7 into something. That's why 7 divides b square. 7 divides b square means as 7 is prime. Okay, by the remark point what we learnt in the previous slide, 7 divides b square means I can write 7 divides b. The reason here is 7 is prime. If 7 is not prime, we are not able to write this step. Now in second point we have 7 divides a. In 3 we have 7 divides b. Therefore 7 divides both a and b. 7 divides a means 7 is a factor of a. 7 divides means 7 is a factor of b. Therefore 7 is a factor of both a and b. From 2 and 3, 7 is a common factor for both a and b, for both a and b. That means this contradicts our assumption that a and b are co-prime integers. Here we have a and b are co-prime integers. When we wrote here a and b are co-prime integers, means their HCF is 1. Their highest common factor is 1. But here I got a common factor 7, which is more than 1. This is contradiction. This contradicts our assumption that a and b are co-prime integers. False statement we got. This contradiction we got because our assumption is wrong. Hence our initial assumption that root 7 is rational is wrong. Root 7 is rational is wrong means therefore root 7 is irrational. Okay, here this complete solution involves every step. You should know the reason for every step. Just simply I am repeating in 1 minute. Okay, assumption should be opposite to the given statement. Root 7 is an irrational number. For this opposite is root 7 is not an irrational number. Not irrational means rational only. Therefore assumption is root 7 is rational. From this, by using definition of rational number, we will get this one. On simplification, we will get a square is 7b square. Now a square is equal to 7 into something, that's why 7 divides a square. Now by using the formula as 7 is prime, 7 divides a. By the definition of divides, division definition, 7 divides a means a is equal to 7 into something. Something is k here. A is equal to 7k. By substituting the value of a in 1, we will get 7k whole square is 7b square. On simplification, we get 7k square is equal to b square. Therefore, b square is equal to 7 into something. That means 7 divides b square. Here all 7 is prime. You can apply that note point, remark point. 7 divides b. Because reason is 7 is prime. Now from 2 and 3, from 2 7 divides a, and from 3 7 divides b. That means 7 is a common factor for both a and b. This is not possible because a and b are co-prime integers. This contradiction we got. That's why our initial assumption that root 7 is rational is wrong. Root 7 is rational is wrong means root 7 is irrational. Let's do one more problem. Prove that 1 by root 2 is an irrational number. I will use the method of contradiction here also. Assumption is opposite of this one. I have to prove 1 by root 2 is irrational. For this opposite is 1 by root 2 is rational. By the definition of a rational number, 1 by root 2 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. Again squaring on both sides, 1 by root 2 whole square is equal to a by b whole square, that is nothing but a square by b square. On simplification, 1 by 2 is equal to a square by b square. If we go for cross multiplication, b square is equal to 2a square. It is very important. B square is equal to a square. B square we have written as 2 into some number. It means 2 divides b square. 2 divides b square. 2 divides b square means 2 is a prime number. That's why 2 divides b. Now as 2 divides b, there exists a number k such that b is equal to 2k, because 2 divides b. 2 divides 8 because 2 is equal to 4 into 2. 4 into 2. Okay. 2 divides 8 because 8 is equal to 4 into 2 or 2 into 4. In similar way, 2 divides b means b is equal to 2k. K can be any number. This is possibility is there. What I will do in 1, I will substitute this value. Equation 1 is b square is equal to 2a square. In place of b, write 2k whole square. 2k and 2k whole square I have is 2a square. On simplification, 4k square is equal to 2a square. Then we have 2k square. We cancel with 2 on both sides. 2k square is equal to a square. Again, a square we have written as 2 into something, that means 2 divides a square. As 2 is prime, 2 divides a. Now in 2, 2 divides b. In 3, 2 divides a. From 2 and 3, 2 is a common factor for both a and b. Same thing, this contradicts our assumption that a and b are co-prime integers. Co-prime means their HCF should be 1. Their highest common factor is 1. But here we have another common factor, that is 2. This is not possible. This contradiction contradicts our assumption that a and b are co-prime integers. Why we got this contradiction is we have taken wrong assumption. Hence our initial assumption that 1 by root 2 is rational is wrong. This is wrong means the right statement is therefore 1 by root 2 is irrational. 1 by root 2 is rational is wrong. Okay, 1 by root 2 is irrational. In this way you can prove the given irrational number as an irrational number by using the method of contradiction. All the problems are similar. If you take the previous one and this one, something like they are always similar here. All the steps are except for the simplifications. Let's see one more problem. Prove that 7 root 5 is an irrational number. Let's do this. Okay, assumption is again opposite of this one. Assumption 7 root 5 is rational. 7 root 5 is rational. That means 7 root 5 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. This we got by the definition of a rational number. Now I am taking, simplify this one. Here 7 is multiplying root 5. If we take the right side, it divides. We get a by b into 7, nothing but a by 7b. Here a is integer, b is integer, 7 is integer. No doubt a by 7b is a rational number. Here no need to simplify like before. Simply here 7 is an integer, a and b are integers. When you take these three are integers means a by 7b is a rational number, no doubt. A by 7b is a rational number. Okay. And for example, suppose let me take the value of a as some 3 and b as some 5. Suppose let me calculate a by 7b. A by 7b is equal to a is 3. 7b means 7 into b. 7 5 is 35. 3 by 35 is no doubt a rational number. Therefore, for any values of a and b, a by 7b is a rational number. But a by 7b is equal to root 5. Here we got a by 7b is equal to root 5 from this equation. In place of a by 7b, from the statement I can write root 5. Root 5 is a rational number. This is false. Already we proved root 5 is irrational. Therefore, this contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational. Okay. Therefore, so our assumption is incorrect. Whatever assume you have taken, that is wrong. When 7 root 5 is rational is wrong. Therefore, 7 root 5 is an irrational number. Here we didn't go for squaring and all, not necessary. Directly 7a and b are integers means a by 7b is a rational number. Yes, these two are equal. This is rational means automatically this is also rational. This is wrong. Okay, root 5 is irrational. We already proved this model. Therefore, this constitutes the fact that root 5 is irrational. Our assumption is incorrect means assumption is 7 root 5 is rational. That is wrong. That means 7 root 5 is an irrational number. Prove that 6 plus root 2 is an irrational number. Similar model. Solutions. Assumption opposite of this one. 6 plus root 2 is rational. As it is rational, we can write like this. 6 plus root 2 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. Now on simplification, take 6 to left side. Root 2 is equal to a by b minus 6. A by b minus 6 is, you can write a by b minus 6 by 1. 6 by 1. Nothing but LCM is b. Okay, b we cancel a, minus b by 1 is b, b into 6 is 6b. A minus 6b by b will get. Therefore, on simplification. From this, root 2 is equal to a minus 6b by b. Now again, here the numbers involved are a, b and 6. Here 6a and b are integers. And this is also no doubt a rational number. If you can check with it by taking any values for a and b, this is always a rational number. But these two are equal, we got. Therefore, root 2 is a rational number. This is false, we know. Root 2 is already irrational, we know that. This contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational. So our assumption is incorrect. What is our assumption? 6 plus root 2 is rational, is wrong, is incorrect. That means 6 plus root 2 is an irrational number. Prove that 3 minus root 5 is an irrational number. It was the same. You have to assume the opposite of this statement. 3 minus root 5 is rational. By applying the definition of a rational number, 3 minus root 5 is a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. Take root 5 to right side, we will get 3 is equal to a by b plus root 5. Take a by b to left side, 3 minus a by b is root 5. Non-simplification, we get 3b minus a by b is equal to root 5. Here also 3a and b are integers. Definitely this is also a rational number. 3b minus a by b is a rational number, but this is equal to root 5. Root 5 is a rational number, which is a false statement. This contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational. So our assumption is incorrect. What is our assumption? 3 minus root 5 is rational, is wrong or is incorrect. That means 3 minus root 5 is an irrational number. Prove that 5 minus 2 root 3 is an irrational number. Take the wrong opposite of the statement as assumption. 5 minus 2 root 3 is rational. Again, by applying the definition of rational number, we get like this. 5 minus 2 root 3 is a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. Let us simplify this. 5 minus 2 root 3 is a by b. Okay. Take a by b to left side and 2 root 3 to right side. We will get 5 minus a by b is equal to root 3. You can write that as 2 root 3 is equal to 5 minus a by b. On simplification, 5b minus a by b here. Okay. Let me make it clear. I have 5 minus 2 root 3 is a by b. 5 is equal to a by b plus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3. Now take a by b to left side. 5 minus a by b is equal to 2 root 3. And this one I can write 2 root 3 is equal to 5 minus a by b. This is what I wrote here. 2 root 3 is equal to 5 minus a by b. Simplification, 5b minus a by b here. Now therefore take 2 to right side. You see here 2 root 3. In 2 root 3, 2 is multiplying root 3. If we take right side, it divides. Root 3 is equal to 5b minus a by b into 1 by 2 actually. Okay. From this 2 root 3 is equal to 5b minus a by b. 5b minus a by b. From this root 3 is equal to 5b minus a by b. This 2 divides into 1 by 2. That means 1 into this one is 5b minus a, b into 2 is 2b. That's why root 3 is equal to 5b minus a by 2b. Now here also 5a, b and 2 are integers, are all integers. We can conclude the right side RHS, that is 5b minus a by 2b is a rational number. From that okay, root 3 is rational. This contradicts the fact that root 3 is irrational. We know already that root 3 is irrational. So our assumption is incorrect. What is our assumption? 5 minus 2 root 3 is rational. Is incorrect. That means 5 minus 2 root 3 is an irrational number. Let's do one more problem. Prove that 2 root 3 minus 1 is an irrational number. Same process. Solution. Take the opposite of the given statement as assumption. 2 root 3 minus 1 is rational. By applying the definition of a rational number, 2 root 3 minus 1 is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers and b not equal to 0. On simplification, take 1 to right side. 2 root 3 is a by b plus 1. On simplification, a plus b by b. Root 3 is equal to, if 2 is multiplying, divides a plus b by 2b. Now here 2a and b are integers. A plus b by 2b is a rational number. You can take any values for a and b. This is a rational number always. As these two are equal, root 3 is a rational number. This contradicts the fact that root 3 is irrational. Already we know root 3 is irrational. So our assumption is incorrect. What is our assumption? 2 root 3 minus 1 is rational. That is incorrect. That means 2 root 3 minus 1 is an irrational number. In this way, we can prove the given numbers as irrational numbers. These are some models. Okay, for some problems we used the method of contradiction. Here For all the problems we applied the method of contradiction. Now in this class we explained about irrational numbers and definition of irrational we had given. A number C is called irrational if it cannot be written as P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0, and we provided some we can define these irrational numbers as the numbers which are not rational are called irrational numbers also. Therefore, if you take any number that is either rational number or irrational number, it is mandatory. And we know the rational numbers and irrational numbers together make the collection of real numbers. And we had given some examples for the irrational numbers also. Now I spoke about contradiction method, how to prove the given statement by using contradiction method. We proved the irrationality of some irrational numbers by using the method of contradiction. In my next class, I'll explain some more problems in this topic. Thank you.